This conference will now be recorded.
Previous class, I think this is the last program that we saw. Here I told you with the help of this scanner class. With the help of scanner class, I explained you how to read data from the keyboard. This is the last example I think we discussed in the previous session. Here S is the object belong to scanner class. So after creating this object, it is connected to system.in, which can take data from standard input device. Then s.nextInt it is the method that you can call. NextInt is the method that you can call based on an object belong to scanner class. Here S is the object belong to scanner class. So whatever the number, whatever the integer that you give in is taken in and it is placed in the variable D. After that, just I am content of D. So using scanner, just in this example, we are reading a integer value and we are placing that value in a variable named D. Then we are displaying it. So you know that to execute this program, we have to use JavaC command. This is how we can execute this program. Then if you run this one, then it will wait for input from you. Whatever the value that you give as input here, I gave 55 as input, it is integer. Actually here, nextInt is the method that receive this value, which we give it command from. If you give 55 as input, same thing is placed in D, and we get the same value as the result because of this system.out.println. You can see here the result is 55. So that's the last program I think we discussed in previous session. Now let us see the next one. We just look at the program, try to recollect the concept. This is related to class and object. Just see the code. I think code is visible to you. See the code, see the classes which are there in this program, see the data members, see the methods, and guess the result. As in previous session, I am expecting you to send me the result of this program through chat window. Look at the code, look at the classes which are there in this program, look at the data members of each class, look at the member functions of each class, see the code which is there in main method, guess the result, and type the result. This is very simple program actually. You just look at the program, guess the result, and send me the result in chat window. Look at the program, guess the result, and send me the result in chat window. Hmm? Okay, see, look at this program. Class A is there. The class contain small a. Actually, here small a is data member belong to class A because both data member and class has the same name. Just I will try to change it. The data member name as A1. See now A1 is the member of class A. This is data member actually. Then void read A. Actually, this is a function which belong to class A. The function belong to class A is called as member function. You know that. Read A is the name of the function. It is not returning anything, so the return type is void. No arguments are there. You can see the brackets are empty. Inside, only one line is there where value 12 is stored in A. So whenever if you call this method, read A method if you call, this line is executed and value 12 is stored in the variable A. Actually, we changed the name for the sake of convenience to for the sake of reduction of ambiguity, I changed the name of this variable from A to A1. Here also A1 we need to maintain. A1 is the variable name in which we are storing the value 12. Similarly, this is another method, another function. It also has return type void and no arguments are there. Inside only one line is there. It is to display the value of A1. So this is one data member belong to class A. This is member function. Its name is read A. This is another member function. Its name is this. Total three members are there for class A. A1, which is data member. The read A is a member function. This is also a member. Total two member functions are there. One data member is there. Now this is the class P13 in which main method is there. So generally what we do is same name we give that is P13 is the name that we are supposed to give to the program also. Here you can see already I saved it with P13 name. So inside this class you can see the highlighted code. The entire code is belong to a function called as main. Main is the function. In previous class again I make you to remember the importance of void keyword, static keyword, and public keyword. We discussed about this one also, convenient arguments also in previous class. So inside main method, so I told you that inside this class P13, only one function is there. It is main function. So inside four statements are there. These four are the lines belongs to main. In first line, this is the concept related to class and object. In several examples in class, we discussed about this. OB is the reference variable name. It belongs to class A. New is the operator in Java. It creates the object. It creates the space required by object. Then here what we have, it looks like a method. We name after that open parenthesis and close parenthesis. We call this as constructor. In fact, in this program, there is no constructor that is mentioned. When no constructor is specified in a class, during object creation, default constructor is called. Default constructor, what it do is it initialize the data members of the class. Here inside class A1 is the data member. So this data member is initialized by the default constructor. This is the default constructor. It assigns default values. There are specific values for each data type. For each data type, in here we have the data member A1, which belongs to integer type. In case of integer, it is 0. So A1 is initialized with value 0. Then this line is under execution. After that, here what I am doing is I am trying to display the value of A1 actually. To reduce ambiguity, already I changed the name of the data member from small a to A1. Here also we need to do the change. So A1 value I'm trying to display. Already we discussed that here the default constructor will assign the A1 variable, the A1 data member with value 0. So when this line is under execution, you can see 0 result, 0 as the result. After that, where the object is OB, object variable is OB, based on OB, in this line, I am calling a method called as read A. Your read A method is there. When you call read A method based on this object OB, this method is called and its code is executed. Here in A1, it is mentioned to store the value 12. So value 12 is stored in A1 when this method is executed based on OB. After that, when you call this method, when this line is under execution, you need to call, system will call disk method based on the object OB. When disk method is called, whatever the code that is mentioned here inside disk method is executed. System.out.println meaning is that we need to display something as a result. A1 it is the data member. Whatever value that is there in A1, we need to get. We need to system will display this as a result. Here because read A is called before this value 12 is assigned to A1. So in the last line, we get 12 as the result. So overall two outputs we need to get for this program when we execute this one. You know that at this line, we get value 0 because of value assigned by the default constructor. Similarly, at this line, the value that we get is 12 because read A is called and read A change in initial value of the data number A1 from 0 to 12. So we expect the result 0 and 12 for this program. So to execute this program, you need to go to appropriate folder where these programs are stored. In D colon in the system in Java folder, I stored these programs. So here we need to use Java C. It is the command that we need to execute interpret the Java program. Where the program name is P13, the entire name actually including the extension that's supposed to be mentioned. So there are no errors in this program. So compilation is successful, no error code. So what you can do is you can execute this. To execute the program, you have to issue the Java command. Then only the class name is enough. P13 is the name of this particular class in which main method is. In previous class, I told you that P13 is the class. Based on this class, no object is created, and but I want to execute main method. You can see here. Inside P13, main method is there. Without creating object of P13, I am trying to execute main method. Because of this reason, the main should be static. So when this command is issued, main method is executed and all the lines inside main are executed. In first line, object A is created. Object OB is created. In second line, the result we get A1 result, which is assigned by this constructor, default constructor, that is 0. In third line, value 12 is assigned to A1. In fourth line, fresh value that is 12 is displayed. So you can see 0 and 12 as the result when you execute this program. This is the fundamental concept related to class and object creation. Several times we will discuss this in class. Just remember, here the name of the class is A, name of the data member is A1. This is one member function. This is second member function. So here again another class is there in which main method is there. So the file name should be the same as this one. Inside main method, here object is created. Object is assigned to the variable OB. New is the operator used to create the object. At the end, whatever we have here is called as constructor. The constructor actually is a special function. This special function actually constructor. You do not have any return type, and its name is same as the class. Nothing is mentioned in this class. Like when you do not mention constructor, default constructor is called. It assigns default value to data members. For A1 which belong to integer type, default value is 0. So during execution of this line, we got 0. When this method is called, value 12 is assigned to A1. When this method is called, whatever the value that is there in A1 is displayed. So again 12 is there. That's why we get 0 and 12 as a result. Now let us see the next program. This is important program. Just look at the program. I will give you 30 seconds time. Look at the program and guess the results. Send me the result in chat. Look at the program. Very simple program. Class and data members are there. There are no member functions in class A. So inside class A, total you can see from A1 to A8. Total 8 data members are there. A1 to A8. Each data member belong to a basic data type. So A1 belong to byte type, A2 belong to short type, A3 belong to int type, A4 belong to long type. These four are integer flavors. A5, A6 both are float flavors. A5 belong to float, A6 belong to double. A7 is belong to character data type. A8 belong to Boolean data. So total 8 data members are there. Very good. At least from one person I got the response. So total 8 data members. If there are no member functions, I'm expecting all others also to send me the response. But this is class A. So inside the P14 main method is there. Inside main method, I wrote some logic. Here the first line is it is to create an object OB, an object based on the variable OB, reference variable. New is the operator which creates the object. While creating this object, new what it will do is it reserves space required by all the data members. Total 8 data members are there. So for all 8 data members, whatever the space that is required, that space is reserved by this new operator. After that, after reserving the space and after assigning that space to this variable OB, this constructor is called. Constructor is not specified in this class. Because constructor is not specified in this class, default constructor is called. Default constructor already in previous example also I mentioned about default constructor. When there is no constructor, default constructor is called. Its duty is to assign default values to variables, default values to data members. Here from A1 to A8 data members are there. For integer flavor data members, from A1 to A4, that is A1, A2, A3, A4, the value is 0. For float and double, for float it is 0.0f, for double it is 0.0d. But during display process, you do not see F or D. We discussed about float literals in previous session also. So here for A5, A6 we need to get 0.0 only as the result because F and D they are not visible. For A7 that is space default value, for A8 it is false. So after creation of this object, after assigning it to reference variable OB, what I am trying to do is I am trying to display the values from A1 to A8. So because A1 to A8 we are trying to display, we get the result as 0.0 times, then space and false. So remember that for a Boolean variable, default value is false. I will discuss about this in class also. So now let us see the result by executing this particular program. Program name is P14 because the main is there in class P14. Compilation is over. Interpretation actually will define is over. Then we try to execute the program. Only what's supposed to. So you can see because print ln is there for each display statement there is ln. So because of ln we are getting each value in different line. First four are 0, next two are 0 0.0, 0 0.0. Actually it is 0 0.0f because this is float literal. This is 0 0.0d because this is double literal. We do not get we do not get f or d in the result. So only 0 0.0 we can see. Then there is a space which is related to this line, that is A7, which is character data type, default value assigned by the default compiler space. Space is not visible, so we got this as the result. Then we discussed about this one. For Boolean, the default value is false. So you can see false here. Yes. This is very important. You are supposed to remember this concept. Default values assigned by default constructor. Here A is the default constructor, which is not mentioned. It is generated by Java virtual machine after creation of this creation of an object by new create the object. It assign the object to this reference variable OB. Then it comes to into picture. A. There is no mention of constructor, so default constructor. It assign default values to all the data members based on the data type. Okay, now let us see the next one. Yeah, look at the program. It is very simple. Recollect the concept of static data members. I'll give you 20 seconds time. Just look at the program. Send me the result in the chat. If you have exams, some and exams, previous one and this one are very important. Even for exam also. Look at the program. Send me the result. Because nobody is sending the result. Okay, very simple program. I told you, I explained this concept in class clearly. At least you open online Java compiler because I am repeatedly asking you to send me the result. At least you can execute the program in online Java compiler and whatever the result that you got, at least you try to send me that one. Okay, yes, I will explain this concept. See, here is a class. Class name is A. It contains one data member. Its name also is A. To reduce ambiguity, again I will change the data member name to A1. Here also we need to change this to A1. Inside class A, there is a data member A1. It belongs to the data type Boolean. You know about Boolean data type. In a variable belong to Boolean data type, it is possible to store either true or false. The word true or the word false you can store. So in A1, it is possible to store either true or false because it is Boolean. Before that, static is there. Static is the keyword in Java language. If you use the static keyword before any data member, then this variable, this data member, now it belongs to the member of the class instead of member belong to an object. Now A1 is the data member. A1 is the data member which belong to class A instead of an object belong to class A because the data member is static in type. So that simple class, only one line is there, A1 Boolean type and it is static. Its meaning is that variable is belong to class A instead of an object belong to class A. So when the variable is static, here A1 data member is static. When a data member is static, directly what you can do is you can access the data member based on the name of the class. So here A1 I am trying to access based on the name of the class. I told you that static data member belong to the class. All objects, in case if you declare any number of objects, all objects will share the same data member. Here I am trying to, one more thing is for static data member, initial value assigned is 0. No need to create an object. No need to consider the default constructor. Whenever if a variable, if a data member belong to static type, so initially if this belong to integer flavor, if this one belong to integer flavors, initial value is 0. If this belong to float flavors, it belong to 0.0 FRD. If this character displays, if it is boolean, default value is false initial value. Because this is boolean, initial default value is false. Based on the name of the class, see here, I am trying to access this data. You can do so. See the result by executing this program. Interpretation is over, no errors are there. Its meaning is that data members can be called based on class also in case if the data member belong to static. So now I will try to execute the program P15 with 3 points. Its meaning is that static data member, because this is Boolean type, initial default value is false. Based on class name, you can call it. This is very important. No object is created, but based on class, I am calling this because this is static. Same thing happening even in case of main method also. We are not creating any object belong to P15 and we are calling main. Because this is static, it is possible to call. That's what happened here. Next, let us see the next program. Just look at the program. I gave a lot of explanation related to static data member just now. Look at the program and at least try to send me the response, send me the result in chat. Look at the program. Try to recollect all the points that we discussed and guess the result. Here also the concept is static, static data member concept. Simple. Here class A is there. In previous example, we have Boolean variable. Just here also, to reduce ambiguity, I change the name of the variable to A1 because class and variable both are given the same name. So I need to call this as small or capital everything. So instead of doing that, just what I will do here is I change the name of the data member to A1. Follow me carefully. This is also important. If you understood the previous example clearly, then it is very easy for you to answer this question. Here also class name A is there, in which only one member is there. Name of the member is A1. It is data member, belong to integer type. During discussion of static, I told you that static members are common to the class, the entire class. A1 is the data member. It is static. It belongs to integer type. For integer flavor, I told you that default value, there is no concept of default constructor. Actually, their default value for a static variable belong to integer flavor is 0. So for A1 initial value, the assigned is 0. That is the explanation related to this class. Now if you consider this one, P16, this is a class in which main method is there. All the lines highlighted are belong to the method main. Inside this class P16, only main method is there, only one member function is there. Because main is there inside P16, I gave the same name to the file also, to the program also. You can see p16.java is the name of the program. Because main is there in P1. And this is simple class, another class in which only one data member A1 belongs to static type, integer data type and static in nature. So when the program began its execution, actually A1 is created. belong to class A, which is shared by all the objects belong to this class, which is shared by all the objects belong to this class. And in fact, actually, what you can do is static memory you can access based on class also, similar to the way we saw in the previous example. So inside main, here what I am doing is I am trying to create an object belong to class A. This is class A belong to this class. I am trying to create an object OB. Okay, you can create new. We assign the space that is required, and default constructor is called. Actually, default constructor its duty is to initialize data members, but here the data member is static. So default constructor do not touch static data members. But already when you start execution of this program, before execution of this line, before entry to main, already the variable is created, A1 is created, and because this is static and it belongs to integer flavor, the initial value 0 is stored in it. So anyway, I have created an object OB. Here based on OB, what I am trying to do is, I am trying to increment, plus plus you know that it is increment operator. I am trying to increment the value of A1. Initial value we discussed it as 0. Now it becomes 1. Then what we are trying to do is we are trying to display the value of A1. Already value became 1 from 0 because of this incrementation. So we expect the result of this line as result of this line 1. Then what I am trying to do is I am trying to create another object OB1. See here the object reference variable is OB, here object reference variable is OB1. Total two objects are created actually, OB and OB1. At the end of this line again OB1 is created, already OB is created. Based on OB1, I am trying to increment the same variable A1 again. I told you that static variables are created only once and the variable belong to the entire class and all objects, in this case OB and OB1, all the objects will share the same static member. So here the value, initial value 0 became 1. Though this is a different object, based on that object, because I am calling, I am incrementing the A1 value again. So already the value is 1, now it became 2. At the end I am trying to display the value. So here we discussed that the value is 1, what we get as the result. Here we get 2 as the result. I hope you understood the concept. E16, execution is over, sorry, interpretation is over. Now I am trying to execute this one. As usual, already we guessed the result, same thing we got here, 1 and 2. Because this is static, all objects belong to this class will share it. Initial value is 0. Here object OB is created. Based on this, I am incrementing A1, which is common to the class. Initial value is 0. After incrementation, it becomes 1. Here the value 1 is displayed as the result. Another object is created. Based on new object, I am incrementing A1. Already it is 1, which is shared by both the objects. So 1 became 2 now. We are displaying the value here. So for this line, we got 1 as the result, and for this line, we got 2 as the result. 1 and 2 you can see here. This is about static data members. Remember, static data members are common to the entire class. They are shared by all the objects. Initial value is 0 in case of integer flavor data types. In this case, OB and OB1 both are two different objects which share the same variable, so we got 1 and 2 as the result. Let us see the next one. Okay, this is about constructor concept. recollect the concept, and send me the result in chat window. Look at the program for 20 seconds. Try to understand the code, very simple program. Guess the result and send it back to me. Send me the result in chat window, please. Very simple program. Just look at the program and send me the result. This is just related to the constructor concept. Okay, look at the program. This is the class with name A. Again, I changed the variable name instead of A because class name is also A to reduce confusion, to eliminate confusion in the code. I am changing the data member name to A1. This is class A and its contents. Inside class A, you can see that this line is related to the declaration of data member with name A1. The data member with name A1 is declared here. It belongs to integer data type. So this is data member. Now, here the highlighted code is related to a function. This is a special function. The function name is same as the name of the class. You can see class name is capital A. So the function name is also is class A. We do not have any return type. Even void is also not mentioned as the return type of this function. And the brackets contain, parentheses it contains. Parentheses sometimes it contains some data, sometimes they are empty. Here the parentheses brackets are empty. After that, its body began. Here two lines are there. First line, value 22 is assigned to A1, that is data memory A1, and second line 32 is assigned to A1. Two lines are there. So anyway, this is special function I told you, a function with name same as that of its class, same name as that of its class, and no return type is called as constructor. Actually, constructor duty is to initialize data members of the class. So here I am trying to initialize data member A1, but intentionally I mentioned two lines. In first line I am initializing A1 with 22. It is done when constructor is called. In second line, 32 is assigned to A1. So anyway, at the end of the execution of this constructor, value of A1 is 32. So that is the explanation related to this class, class A. Now let us see about another class which is there in the program. In the same program, two classes are there. This is another class. Class name is P17. Convention is to start the name of the class with calculator. So I followed the convention and I followed the naming rules also. Inside this class, the highlighted code is belong to another special function. Function name is main. Because main is there inside this class, I gave the same name to the program p17.java. So whenever if you start execution of this program, execution begin with first line of main. And the format of main, we know that before we have to use these words, and inside command line argument specification is done. So inside main, two lines are there. These are the lines. So in first line, creation of an object is there. Here OB is the variable, object reference variable. I declared it belong to class A. This is class A. After that, assignment operator and right side on its right. Operator new is used and constructor A is called. First new, what it will do is it will allot space required by this by an object belong to this class. Here one data member is there. So whatever the space is required by this data member, that much space is reserved in main memory by this new operator. After reserving that space, the space is assigned to this reference variable OB. Now OB is pointing to the created space. Class clearly mentioned these concepts. After that, after making this reference variable OB to point to that newly created space, this constructor is called. When the constructor is called, your constructor is specified in this class. So this particular constructor is executed instead of the default constructor, because we mentioned a constructor. This particular one is executed. So when this constructor is called, the code mentioned in this function are executed. Two lines are there. First one, 22 is assigned to A1. In second line, 32 is assigned to A1. So at the end of execution of this constructor here, from here it is called, constructor is called and it is executed. At the end, variable A1 is with value 32. So in second line, what I am doing is based on this object OB, I am trying to display A1 value. So at the end, 32 value is assigned. So that value is maintained in A1, which we get as the result. So when you execute this program, we expect the result 32. Let us see the result. Program name is P17. Interpretation is done. You can see we guessed that the result in this case is 32. Yeah, we got the result 32. Yes, we got 32 as the result. Now, I hope you understood this concept. You recollect the concept related to constructor. This is what we call as constructor. When you call the constructor, actually during creation of object at the end we call the constructor. If it is there, it is executed. Otherwise, if a constructor is not mentioned in a class, then default constructor is called. Let us see the next one. Look at the program, recollect the concept, send me the results in chat. I'm giving you half a minute time. Just look at the program. It is very simple for you to answer this program to guess the result of this program. Just guess the result and send me the result in chat room. Okay, look at the program. As usual, here also we try to change the variable name to A1 instead of A2 to reduce ambiguity. Wherever the data member A is there, I will change its name to A1. Because class name, constructor name, everything, if it is A, you will get confusion. So, see, class A is there. First, let us look at this class. Name of the class is A. Inside, A1 is the data member, belong to integer type. Okay. After that, we have one data member, one function. But here the fact is function name is same as the class name and do not have any return type. So we call this function as constructor. Constructor is there and data member is there in this class. Total two members are there. Okay, now look at the class, this particular class. Inside this class, this is the code that is there. The entire code that is highlighted here belongs to main. So only one member is there in P1 each. The member is main. That is a function, the member function. Its name is main. Inside main, two lines are there. In first line, I am trying to create an object. New creates the object. Space required here is space required by A1. That much space is reserved in memory, that is RAM. And after reserving that space is linked to this reference variable OB. Now OB is pointing to that reserved space. After that, this is called. In this case, this is called constructor. That too in the bracket, some argument is there. Argument is also called as parameter. Here 40 is there. When you have some parameter in the constructor is called as parameterized constructor. Because 40 is there as the parameter of this constructor, this is called as parameterized constructor. That is the concept. When the constructor is called, here the constructor is. This is function call. When you call this function, we execute that function. Whatever the parameter that is indicated here is sent to that function. Because 40 is sent, that value is received by the variable x is there belong to integer type. Whatever the value 40 you send from object creation line is received by x. After that, the lines in the function begin its execution. Only one line is there. Whatever the value that is there in x, you need to assign that value to the data member A1 belong to class A. Simple. Here the value of x is 40, which is sent from this function constructor call. Here the argument x receives it, and that value is assigned to A1. So anyway, after that, in second line of main, just what I am trying to do is I am trying to access the value of A1 based on this ob.a1. Already it is 40, it is assigned by inside the constructor. So that we are trying to display using system.out. When the second line is executed inside main, we get the result 40. Because here the constructor has some parameter, we call it as parameterized constructor. Here integer value we are sending, so a integer variable is used to receive that value. Any number of parameters belong to any type can be mentioned in the for the constructor. So it is in case if parameters are mentioned, it is called as parameterized constructor. An important point you need to remember here is when you specify some constructor, Definitely, you are supposed to use the format here because here one integer argument is there. You are supposed to send the integer argument. If you keep this one empty, and if you think the default constructor will respond to you, it doesn't happen. During discussion, and highlighted this point and gave an example for this also. When you specified at least one constructor, there is no concept of default constructor. Definitely, you are supposed to follow its format while calling that constructor. So, anyway, ultimately, the result of this program should be 40. Let us see. P18 is the program name. It is done. Interpretation is done. Execution, yes, so yes, the result is 40 and we got 40 of the result. This is the concept of parameterized constructor. It is very important for exams also. Several times in previous exams, this question was asked. Explain about parameterized constructor. Let us see the next one. Actually, this is the repetition of previous one. Accidentally, same program repeated twice. Same program, no changes there. So I'm skipping this one. Let us see the next one. The constructor overloading concept. This is also an important one for exam. You know the concept of method overloading and function overloading. Just look at the program and guess the result. Send me the result as response in chat window, please. Just half a minute time I will give you. Just look at the program, guess the result, send me the result in chat window. Try to understand the program. You know this concept very well, and this is very, very important for exam. Awesome. Audio is simple thing. Look at the program, try to recollect the concept. One thing, just remember the point that in previous classrooms and even in regular class also, several times I mentioned that even though you belong to ECE branch, majority of you will go to software industry only. Because of that reason, concentrate more in this subject, in Java language. It helps you in getting good placement. It helps you in going to higher positions in even when you enter the software industry quickly. Without skill in programming language, nothing you can do in industry. Okay, see the program. Now uh, we have class A. Same thing as usual because of name is same. For data member at class, I changed the data member name to A1. Here also A1. Here also A1. Same thing here and at this place also. Because the data member name and class name accidentally both became same, though case is different. To make you to understand this program better, I changed the data member name to A1. Now this is one class in this program. Highlighted thing is one class in the program. Name of the class is A, capital A. Its meaning is that convention is to begin with the name with uppercase, so I did so. It contains one data member. The highlighted one is the data member A1. It belongs to integer type. A1 belongs to integer type. Only one data member. Then you can see here one function is there. No return type, name same as class A. So this is constructor, you know that. Again here, another function is there. It is also same, that is no return type, and the name is same as the same to that of class. This is also constructor. So here one data member and constructor is defined two times. This one and this one. Two times constructor is defined. They are not two different constructors. Constructor always it is one, but its definition is made available two times in this case. Multiple times its definition is made. In one definition, it is accepting an argument belong to integer type. Here it is. In another definition, no argument is there. So we saw in previous example that this is parameterized constructor and this is non-parameterized constructor. Constructor is defined twice. When you define the constructor more than one time, it is called as constructor overloading. That's what I gave the hint for this program at the bottom. This is called as constructor overloading. Two constructors are there. Constructor is overloaded. One is parameterized, another one is non-parameterized. No parameter is there. So that is about this one, class A, data member and constructor definition two times. Now let us look at this one. The highlighted code is related to class P20. Code is related to this class. Inside only one. You can see this is a member belong to class P20. That is a function, data member function. Its name is main. It is special. The two, it contains a total of 4 lines. Main contains 4 lines. If you see the first line, operator new is there. It allots space for an object. Whatever the space required by A1, that much space is reserved by this new. That space is assigned to reference variable OB1. Then this one is called, constructor is called. A constructor call value 40 we are passing. We are sending value 40, we are passing value 40. Because value 40 belongs to integer type among these two definitions. If you see these two definitions, first one is appropriate one, first one is suitable one. Because 40 we are sending, 40 need to be received here. If you see the first one, x has the capacity to receive this value 40. After receiving this value x by x, the code inside this constructor begin its work. The code indicate to transfer the value of this x to the data member A1. Now OB1 is pointing to an object in which data member A1 is there, which is given the value 40. So that happens here in this line. After execution of that line, after creation of object OB1 based on OB1, this line is executed. You know that this is to display something. Inside OB1.A1 is there. Already you know that OB1.A1 contain value 40. So you see 40 as the result for this line. So for this line, 40 result. Yes. Then we come to the third line. Again, U is there. It reserves space required by A1 belong to class A. Here class A is there. So inside class A, data member A1 is there. Whatever the space that is required is reserved by this new operator. The reserved space is uh, attached to this reference variable OB2. Now OB2 is pointing to newly created space. After that, the constructor is called. Whatever the constructor that is called, actually here you can see two definitions are there. Second one is appropriate one. Second one is suitable one for this. So the second one is called. When the second one is called, the code belong to this constructor is executed. Here it is mentioned to assign value 50 to A1. So belong to OB2, the variable A1 is there, contain value 50 now. Next, at the next, the fourth line of main is executed. Whatever the value that is there in A1 belong to OB2, that is 50 is there, it is displayed. So for this line, we get E. This is what we are expecting for this program. So I will try to execute this program. Program name is P20. I think I did some changes to this program, so I have to save this one, then compile it. We run the program. Yes, similar to the way we expect 40 and 50 results. That 40 and 50 is the result. Now, this is the next program. It is related to function overloading. Just look at the program and send me the result. Take half minute time. Look at the program. Try to understand the concept. Send me the response. Changes. Okay, see here, this class contain data member and two functions, two member functions. Set A is the name of the first member function, set A is the name of the second member function. Also, its meaning is that function is same, but it is overloaded. Similar to the way we saw constructor overloading, here the function is overloaded. Its definition is made available two times. There is a difference in arguments. No arguments are here, and there is an argument in second definition. So, inside class, inside this class, main method is there. First, I am creating an object. Space is created by this new operator. After creation of the space, OB1 is made to point to it. Constructor A is called. There is no constructor mentioned here. Then there is no constructor mentioned. Default constructor is called. So anyway, OB1 based object is created at the first line of main. Then what I am trying to do is, because default constructor is called, all the data here also will change. The name, data member name to A1. So data member name is A1. During the creation of this object, this default constructor will assign value 0 to A1. A1 contain value, initial value 0, which is assigned by default constructor. No constructor is mentioned. So OB1 based the data member value, now it is 0. So here we expect the result as 0. That I am calling the method set A. Set A is defined twice here. No argument is passed. When there is no argument, first one is appropriate one. When no argument is there, because the first one is appropriate one, its code began execution. 20 is assigned to 11. So here, when this method is called, value 20 is assigned to 11. So then, this one we are trying to display. So now get 20 as the result. After that, again, based on OB1, I am calling the method set A and I am passing 30 as the argument. When you pass 30 as argument, that value, based on that, among these two definitions, second one is appropriate one. Because second one is appropriate one, it is activated. Whatever the value that we pass from this place, that is 30 is received by this variable x. And whatever the value that is there in x, that is 30 here, it is transferred to A1. Now A1 contains 30 at the end of this one. Now we are trying to display OB1.A1. We get 30 as a result. So three display statements are there inside main. This is first one, second one, and third one. For first one, we are expecting value 0, which is given by default constructor. For second one, we are expecting value 20, which is given by non-parameterized function. Whereas this 30, we are expecting based on this one, that is parameterized function. 0, 20, 30, we are expecting as a result. So program name is 21. But we are expecting result 0, 20, and 30. Same thing we got as a result. Now let us see the last one for today's discussion.
Mr. Sudarshan, so you are closing another 5-10 minutes.
Program and
Mr. Sudarshan,
try to guess the result. This is related to inheritance.
Mr. Sudarshan, can you hear me?
Look at the program and guess the result. Done to. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Sudarshan.
Ah,
Sudarshan, can you
Japan.
hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Is the session closed or you are continuing for another 5-10 minutes?
Just in 2-3 minutes, I will close it.
Okay, no problem. No problem,
Okay,
please.
okay. Okay, this is related to inheritance. Your class A is there, it contains one data member X. So another class B is there. Extents is the keyword related to inheritance. After extents, the class name A is there, so B acquire the property of A. Variable X belong to A now become member of B also. Here A is called as superclass, B is called as subclass. Superclass to subclass property is acquired. So here another member Y is local to B. Apart from Y, B has access to X also, which is acquired because of inheritance. Now class inside this class, main method is there where OB1 is the object that is created belong to class B. OB1 now has access to X and Y both. In X value 2 is stored, in Y value 3 is stored. Next display statement is there. OB1.x and OB1.y both values I am trying to display. So here we need to get 2, after that some space and then 3 as the result. This is the concept of inheritance. One superclass and one subclass is there. So between super and subclass inheritance we are using. So it is called as single inheritance. Let us execute this program. Program P22. I will try to execute the program. So we are expecting 2 and 3 as the result. Same thing we got as a result. This is about inheritance. Okay, thank you.